Welcome back to the Blue Streak Sports Talk. I'm Sophie Sala. I'm here with Madison Varner, Keenan Glago, Owen Stewart, and joining us today, special guest Jackson Hook, who is a New Streak alum and current student at Randolph-Macon College. To start off today's episode, we're going to talk about high school sports.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is the girls varsity basketball team. It's a super young team with only one senior, which is Desaya, and they're currently 3-2, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. They finally got their offense together. They've been working well together to score. And with the guys, they're 5-1, and it's a majority of an older team. There's only 2 sophomores on the team, and some returning seniors are Christian, Jakari, and Marcus.
And we also can't forget about our indoor track team. They're off to a good start, particularly the sprinters. We got a lot of young girls, especially Ashley Escoa and Abby Fernado both ran 48s in the 300, which is, I think, top 20 in school history. So that's pretty great, especially for how young they are. So a team with a bright future, to say the least.
All right, and moving on to college football, let's talk about some playoff predictions. We have December 29th, we're going to have 2 games. We have Alabama matching up versus Oklahoma, and we have Clemson versus Notre Dame. Anybody looking for anything specific in those 2 games?
For Oklahoma, I think we're going to see some Heisman hangover, and Alabama's going to be able to take that win. And then the Clemson game, I'm calling Clemson taking that one. They're a force to be reckoned with right now. They're pretty good.
As much as I would love to see Alabama lose, and I really want it to happen, I don't know. I mean, Tagovailoa is obviously going to be shaken up. He's still hurt. They said he's going to play, but he definitely was hobbled against Georgia, and it showed. So that could have an effect, but if he's 100% healthy, even with Kyler Murray, it's going to be tough for Oklahoma to win that game. I think it's possible. It's definitely more possible than Notre Dame beating Clemson. I don't think that's a good matchup for them. But I would say that it's going to be an Alabama-Clemson final again.
And I think that Clemson is going to take the whole thing. ACC team, very strong. And the fact that they're able to do this without their star quarterback that they had before, I think that they'll be able to take down Alabama this year.
Yeah, and I think that Oklahoma's defense has struggled a lot this season, and I think that Tua will be able to take care of that. So.
Jerry Jeudy.
And staying in the sport of football, let's talk about our NFL wildcard picks for this week.
All right, so I think the Indianapolis Colts have a really good shot at taking that second spot in the AFC. If you look at the race, you got Baltimore, who's getting run by a rookie who's essentially throwing for 120 yards a game. Yeah, he's going to be great in 5 years, but right now I don't think he's playoff material. That's Lamar Jackson. Miami, they're garbage. I don't know how they're 7-7. I'm going to be honest, they're so bad. They almost lost to Buffalo. I watched that entirety of that game, and they are terrible. So I'm going to say Indianapolis. Andrew Luck is a great quarterback, and they're finally getting that defense together.
Switching over to the NFC, obviously it seems like Seattle's got that locked in unless they lose out somehow. But for the other spot, I think your top 2 choices are either the Redskins or the Vikings. And here's why.
Really on
and
this
here's
game.
why. And here's why. Because the Redskins have the game advantage on the Panthers, which pretty much wipes them out. And the Eagles and Redskins play in a final game. And if the Redskins continue or are able to win their next game, they're on a hot hand with Josh Johnson.
The Redskins are like a 14-string quarterback.
Yeah, honestly.
Which is another reason they would be more hyped up in that final game. One Vikings loss away from it, and so yeah, I think it's those 2 teams at this point.
I'm actually going to back him up on this.
Oh my God.
I'm a little
Two
biased,
Redskins
but
fans out
Colt
here.
McCoy was just said to be back at practice. No boot, nothing. He's ready to go. He's not going to play this week, obviously, but week 17 he's ready to go, and I think he can be the factor that pushes them over. And Josh Johnson is fighting for, everything. He hasn't played since 2011, so he's just happy to be there.
In the Christmas spirit, we all chose someone that we think should get a goodie in their stocking and someone who should get coal in their stocking. Anyone want to start us off with that?
I guess I'll start. My goodie, I'm going to throw it up to my man in Buffalo, Robert Foster. Undrafted rookie out of Alabama. He had some 38 catches all 4 years there. Bills signed him, and he has 3 100-yard games, which is something no Bills receiver did all last year, of course, because they're bad. But it's okay. He's showing out, and he's giving Josh Allen somebody to throw to, which he's needed all year. My coal is going to go to my man Jared Goff. Hate to say it. I like Jared Goff. I like the way he plays, but last 3 weeks he's thrown, I think, 7 interceptions, and he just looked awful against the Eagles. So he's going to need to pick it back up if they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs.
Yeah, so sticking with the NFL, my goodie is my man Josh Johnson. Got his first win. Got his first win ever. First starting win in the NFL ever. First start since 2011. Still had never won a game. That's pretty good. He seemed pretty hyped, laying on the sidelines, slapping the ground like he was just having a holly good old time. And Mike Cole is gonna go to actually 3 teams. Underwhelming performances from 3 overwhelmingly good teams. We got the Saints, Rams, and Chiefs. Not that the Chiefs played bad, but they did lose their first game, or not first game, lose a game, which is not likely. And then the Rams, like you said, Jared Goff played like some trash, and they let a team with a losing record beat them. And then the Saints, on another team with a losing record, put up 12 points. They've been an electric offense, so that was very disappointing and surprising.
Okay, for my starting stuffer, I chose Jalen Samuels, which is a rookie running back for the Steelers. He rushed for 142 yards versus the Patriots, and it's his only second NFL start. And then for my Cole, I gave it to Cam Newton. He only threw for 131 yards against the Saints, and he's also hurt, so he won't be playing for the rest of the season.
So for my Cole, I'm going to be giving it to Nathan Peterman. A little shade at Owen. He was just picked up by the Oakland Raiders of all teams, placed on the practice squad. You know that if your a former starting quarterback for your team was picked up by the Oakland Raiders, one of the worst teams in the league, and placed on their practice squad, you're pretty bad. So sorry, Nathan, Mr. Interception himself. And then we're going to give the goodie to, I'm actually going to change it up a little bit, the Chargers team as a whole. Phillip Rivers is having an MVP season. Williams, the receiver, came out of nowhere. I don't know how he was wide open on that 2-point conversion, as wide open as he was. But Phillip Rivers, he's having a heck of a season, and that team's going to go a long way.
And also on Christmas Day, we're going to switch over to the NBA. We have our Christmas Day games, a few big ones. The Celtics are playing the 76ers. We have the Lakers and the Warriors, and then we also have the Thunder versus the Rockets, among other games. Do you guys have any predictions for those games, how those will play out?
Okay, so Thunder Rockets. The Rockets last night set the NBA all-time record of 3-pointers against the Wizards. Hurts to say, but they were just dropping everything. When they hit them, they're on. If they can do that against the Thunder, especially a team that has a scoring monster in Russell Westbrook, they'll be able to run away with that game. Warriors-Lakers, that should be a good game. But the Lakers just came off a loss on the Wizards. So
Speaks for itself.
Speaks for itself. Warriors are obviously a powerhouse team still, so Warriors should get that game. Bucks are playing. Wait, you didn't say that game. Yeah, the Bucks are playing the Knicks. But and the Bucks should, I think, clearly run away with that one. Other than Porzingis, I don't know that the Knicks have anything that can stop the forces of Giannis, the Greek freak, along with Millsap and their shooters. So yeah, that should be some interesting matchups though.
I think that Lakers-Warriors game is going to be one to watch purely just because it's LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I mean, it's all the guys you could ever want to see in an NBA game on one court on Christmas Day. And I guess that's what Christmas NBA basketball is all about. But having said that, the Lakers are not very good. So I think that the Warriors are going to run away with that one. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see them drop like 65 three-pointers just because it's the Golden State Warriors and they can do that whenever they want. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see LeBron James just score 60 points, even in a loss, just because it's going to be Golden State. He's motivated to knock him off, and as much as I don't think it's going to happen, I will be interested to see what goes on in that game.
LeBron's going to drop a 60-point triple-double.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose.
Yeah, that's how it's going to end. And the Celtics-Sixers game, that acquisition of Jimmy Butler for the 76ers, it really took them up to the upper echelon of NBA teams, and I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for the rest of the year. And the Celtics have really been kind of stagnated so far. They're kind of like, yeah, they're scrappy, but they should be at the top of the Eastern Conference. They're kind of just like, eh. So I think the Sixers are going to come out on that one.
All right, that concludes today's episode of Blue Streak Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Jackson, thank you for being here. We'll see you back here January 11th.